Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Morses with your Thursday morning forecast update. We do have one round of severe storms behind us and probably three more to go, as we are expecting another round of severe weather, possibly in some areas this morning, but more likely once we get to the afternoon and evening. Similar timing to the storms that we saw yesterday. There will be a small hail risk with the storms early in the day, but once we get into the afternoon and evening, those ingredients for severe storms will kind of build back in throughout the day, so we do have another risk for some large hail and even a few strong tornadoes again this afternoon, and the flood threat will be ramping up as well. A lot of areas did pick up 1 to 2 inches of rain yesterday. Another inch or two of rain today will put us close to 4 inches of rain in some areas. We'll likely begin to see some roadway flooding this afternoon. Had one flood report yesterday. Let me show you the damage reports that we had. We didn't have a ton of storms out there, but the two or three storms that we did see develop yesterday did all of that damage. So we had one tornado that was likely in Houghton, Princeton area here in the Shreveport-Bossier metro. We also had a storm that moved out of Texas, likely produced a tornado here across our counties in Arkansas. We have some pretty good video of that tornado in the newscast. I believe that was out of Bradley, Arkansas, and we know there was some tornado damage over in Columbia County, likely as well. We did see some public reports of some of the photos there with that tornado moving through, and we did have one flood report there in McCurtain County. Speaking of McCurtain County, we do have some storms ongoing there this morning that triggered a special weather statement from the Weather Service. Basically what's happening today, our cold front is stalled out, so it has become stationary just north of Interstate 30, so there's some warm air moving over the front into the colder air, and the thunderstorms are likely going to drop some small to medium-sized hail this morning. They should move out of here fairly quickly, but we'll have to watch for maybe another round firing up at some point later this morning. Hail is really the only risk with those storms initially today. You can see what's happening is that front is stalled out, and this area of low pressure is triggering those storms over in north and central Texas. That low is going to move towards us this afternoon, and again, that will introduce some of the shear or wind direction kind of changing with height and speed as you go up in the atmosphere, and it's that wind shear that's going to give us that severe weather threat later today. We'll have plenty of warm and humid air available for these storms to fuel themselves off of again today. The front has cooled us into the 50s and low 60s north of I-30. Shreveport, another morning in the 70s, so we have a ton of warm air that's piling up south of Interstate 20. The wind is kicked in as well. We are expecting those wind gusts about 20 to 30 miles per hour, and that south wind is going to be sending in the ingredients for the severe storms later today. And the tornado risk will stay highest south of I-30 there, Texarkana, thinking you'll wind up at around 80 degrees. But if you're north of Texarkana, you're in the 60s today, and it just goes to show that 20-degree difference between the front as we go through the day today. So the reason we are going to see these multiple rounds of severe storms through Saturday, we have a strong ridge of high pressure out here in the Atlantic, which is really just causing this area of low pressure back in the southwest to just stall out, and that cold front is kind of caught in between, which is why it has become stationary here. So for today, we do have that level 3 enhanced risk outlook for severe weather. Yesterday, we were in that level 3 and some areas in the level 4 outlook, so it is very similar for us today, and I think it's going to be one of those days we'll probably see some large hail again. Wouldn't be surprised maybe to see a few tornado warnings maybe after 2 or 3 p.m. today. This timing and where the storms fire up is going to be very similar to what we experienced on Wednesday. So let's run through time here on your Robbins Toyota Futurecast. It does show those morning storms kind of winding down by 9 or 10 a.m. this morning. So we should see a lull in the activity from the late morning through the early afternoon hours. So if you have to do anything outside, run any errands, probably a window to get that done during the middle of the day today. But after 2 or 3 p.m., the temperatures start to warm up. You can see those storms start popping up here. And again, it won't be a lot of storms today, but it will probably be 3 or 4 of these impactful cells that could produce some of those severe weather hazards for us, mainly between 3 and 9 p.m. But you can see the latest run of Futurecast does keep some of those storms going just past sunset. But like we saw last night, I think most of the storms will probably fall apart once we get past 9 or 10 p.m. here. This is the outlook for tomorrow. It is strangely similar to the outlook for today, so we are expecting those ingredients will build back in tomorrow afternoon for the same round of severe weather. And then once we move to Saturday, the front will start moving here, so likely we'll have some storms in the morning. That could be severe on Saturday, and then we'll get a decent push of storms during the afternoon and evening that will trigger those same severe weather hazards. I'm expecting some pretty high impact weather on Saturday, so pretty good idea at this point, just not planning to do anything outside. You'll probably be cooped up for much of the day on Saturday, but the rain will wrap up late Saturday, early Sunday, so we should get some outdoor time on Sunday, but it will be a little cooler behind this front. So let me take you to Saturday. You can see those showers and storms kind of churning up in the afternoon and evening. evening there, and we'll likely see the rain begin to dissipate Saturday night somewhat. Could have a few leftover rain showers on Sunday morning, but no severe weather threat on Sundays. Those temperatures will drop off. And our in-house model here, I think, has a really good handle on where the heaviest rain is going to fall. It's showing about 3 to 6 inches of rain in the northern Arklatex here, and only about an inch or two I-20 and southward. So it's these areas in the northern Arklatex that will likely see some flooding in the upcoming days here. I think when all is said and done, we'll probably wind up with close to 6 to 8 inches of rain up here, if not some isolated higher amounts. So the rivers and lakes will be coming up, and we'll likely see some road flooding, especially over the next few days here. We get to Sunday, things will dry out for us. I did leave just a slight chance of rain in the morning forecast on Sunday, but we have some terrific weather next Monday through Wednesday. 60s and 70s, and likely back into the 80s maybe next Thursday and Friday, but I do have dry weather in the forecasts all of next week.